Premier Dr. Orlando Smith moved a motion for the second and third reading of the bill entitled Disaster Management Act 2011 when the 8th sitting of the House of Assembly continued on April 30th. In outlining the reasons for the bill, the Premier said a disaster management model legislation for the Caribbean region, spearheaded by the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Response Agency (CDERA) in 1996, was adopted by the Virgin Islands to enact the Disaster Management Act. CDERA has urged Caribbean countries to develop strategic management along with institutional strengthening and support for comprehensive disaster management at a national level. Premier Smith noted that CDERA model was revised in 2006, and after a review of the BVI Disaster Management Act 2003 against the CDERA model, a number of deficiencies were identified, and it was recommended that a new bill be developed.
These deficiencies included lack of provisions to address regulations for hazard inspectors, lack of a comprehensive reference to the National Multi-Hazard Alert System, and the absence of coverage for locally registered and certified volunteers. With funding from the CDEMA Coordinating Unit, the Disaster Management Unit undertook a review of the Disaster Management Act 2003, and in light of the extent of the changes required to the existing Act, it was recommended that a new bill should be developed.
Following a review of the 2003 Act by the Disaster Management Unit, several legislative changes were proposed. Premier Smith, in explaining the bill, listed the legislative changes outlined in the 2011 Act, and they include:
and Clause 1 provides the governor with powers to declare by proclamation an area in the Virgin Islands or the entire Virgin Islands as a disaster area. Clause 19 provides for the establishment of a National Emergency Operations Center and, where necessary, supplementary emergency operations centers. Clause 24 and Clause 25 provides for the conduct of inspections by the hazard inspectors and gives the hazard inspectors authority to enter premises with consent from the owners or magistrate. For purpose of carrying out a function under the Disaster Management Act 2011, Clause 26 gives the Director of the Virgin Islands Shipping Registry power to require the owner of a vessel or other obstruction to remove or destroy the vessel or the obstruction where the vessel obstruction is an impediment to navigation. Clause 30 makes provision for employees who assist in emergency situations and requires that their employers compensate them whilst they support an emergency situation up to a maximum of 2 weeks. Clause 28 requires that the Director of DDM consults the Governor prior to the Governor issuing an order of evacuation.